a very good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Mosby. Thank you for joining us this Tuesday morning. And we are hugely excited because it is another one of our craft alongs. Fast becoming, I think, one of the favourite shows here on Crafters TV. I've been involved in one before, but this is all about actually going at a pace so that everyone can craft along, and we are going to be looking at and crafting with one of my absolute favourite collections that we brought to you here. There's been so many great launches since the start of the year, and the Nitwit Pawsitivty collection, when we launched this, I say a couple of weeks ago now, it flew off the shelf. So I know there are loads of you, hopefully, that already have this collection and you are ready to craft along with us over the course of the next couple of hours. The brilliant thing, of course, is if you haven't yet got this collection, I'll give you all the details a little bit later on as to how you can get your hands on it, and then this craft along will of course be on YouTube, will be on Facebook, and then you can come back and of course craft at your own leisure as well. But if you are crafting along with us today, it is going to be amazing because we've got one of the absolute very best to take us through this craft along, which I'm going to be joining in with. The lovely Jan is here. Please say it's going to be easy, Jan.
Oh, bless you. Oh, you know, I'm lost for words now because I'm so excited about this. I've been dying for this to come along. As soon as the Craft Along series came up, I thought, yes, this is me. This is my forte. I love the teaching aspect of it. I know you guys are always talking about my style for teaching. So today, we get to put it into practice. We're going to have a go at scrapbooking nonetheless. And I'm going to go through everything literally as we do it. I'm just saying to the guys in my ear in the gallery there that I feel really vulnerable because I've got nothing ready. I've literally got my paper pads at the side of me and we're going to tear the sheets out together and do it all in real time today. So yeah, and our Ben actually volunteered to do this. So don't let him be telling you anything different. He did say, I'm up for this, Jan, I'm up for this. And now he's stood there with his knees knocking behind the counter.
I am, but do you know what I thought? I do want to kind of give this a go. Whether I can multitask and present and read your comments and do this at the same time is another thing in total, but we will find out. I'm really looking forward to it, and let us know on Facebook and YouTube if you are going to be crafting along with us. But let's find out what we're going to need if you're going to take part in this craft along. Jan, what are we going to be needing?
What we're going to need. So this is what we're aiming for. I've just popped this on the overhead for a second there, and you can have a little look at what we're aiming at. And what I want to say at the top of the show straight away is because this collection is aimed at cats and dogs, I happen to have two little doggies at home. Ben's got dogs at home, but if you've got cats at home, you can craft along, and it is really simple to change it for cats as well. So what we're going to need then from the collection, we're just going to need the paper elements of the collection. So I want you to dig out the actual paper pads. We're going to need the card pad, we're going to need the paper pad, the die cut topper pad, which is the big 12 by 12 one, and the decoupage topper pad, which is the one with the little pop out pieces in. So that's the main four things from the actual collection. Yeah. And then there's some little bits on top of that, some stamping cards, some twine and a button, heart dies if you've got them, but those aren't essential because there are some elements in the paper pad that we can use. And then a black fine liner again, which we may get round to doing in the show, but you might be able to do that in your own time at home. So as far as equipment's concerned, we're going to need access to a large A4 guillotine because we're working with 12 by 12 papers to start with. We're going to need to do a little bit of cutting at the beginning. So a large guillotine. We may need access to the little mini or some kind of small die cutting machine if we're going to die cut any elements, but as I say, that's not essential. We can use elements from that topper pad. And then we're going to need essentials, things like scissors, a pencil and a 12-inch ruler, a pokey tool, and then access to some adhesives as well, and I'll go through those with what we actually need. So let's have a little look. So, but I think, Ben, have you got the actual kit in total over there?
I have. I'll tell you what we'll do, so you can have time, if you've got the kit already, so you've got time to get all the bits and pieces together. I will quickly run through the Pawsitivty Complete Collection on the board. So, yeah, if you haven't already got it, then actually you've got the ability to pop it in your basket now and then come back to this craft along once we've done it, because as I say, it will be available on YouTube and our Facebook page for, well, years to come. So the kit that you're going to get, it is absolutely brilliant, and as I say, one of my favourite launches of the year so far. So you are going to get within this collection this amazing Forever Friends stamp and die set. So you've got your 3 dies, 6 stamps included in there too, and it's great, isn't it, because you've got the dies to be able to cut out those gorgeous stamps. Forever Friends, love the little paw print stamps that you've got included in there, and that little sentiment. Woof. I mean, you need say no more than that, really. As Jan was saying, if you love cats, fear not, because you're catered for in this collection as well. There is your perfect stamp and die set, 11-piece set with 4 dies, and then the 7 stamps included. So once again, you've got the dies to be able to cut out those cats. You've got Cool Cat, Meow, and Perfect, which is brilliant. Then on top of that, you have got your gorgeous cut and emboss folder. And you can see with this one, you've got those little paw prints. If I go that way, there you go. You can see the little paw prints that you've got in the emboss and that gorgeous frame that's going to be cutting out for you. On top of that, then you've got your stamps, 10 stamps included here too, so just brilliant, a treat for you. You're the cat's pyjamas, I love that saying, the cat's pyjamas. Puppy love, oh so pawsome, it's a cat thing and more. Then, on top of all of that, this is why I love this collection, because it is so thorough. You've got your 6-inch decoupage cut, 6-inch die cut decoupage topper pad. So again, 48 sheets in here for you to be able to build up your own little decoupage dogs. And again, you know, you've got the numbers on each of the sheets, so you know exactly what you're doing. But if you want to go to town and add more layers to these, absolutely you can. That is for the love of dogs. Guess what? We got for the love of cats as well. Yeah, so once again, there's your pad to be able to do your decoupage cats. So cats and dogs and cats, you are quids in with this collection. But there is lots more with this too, because you're also going to get your 12 by 12 pattern paper pad, and again with this it's gorgeous, 180 GSM, 36 double-sided sheets, 3 sheets per design. And the great thing is with this, again, you've got all sorts of different colours, all sorts of different patterns, but they all work beautifully together, because we get so many questions, don't we, as to, you know, what patterns work together, what colours work together. Love the little paw prints, but this has been all thought out for you. So some gorgeous pattern papers included in there. You then also got your card pad included as well, your 12 by 12 card pad, 36 double-sided sheets, and once again you can see just by looking at the boards there how they match up absolutely perfectly. And then this is the genius part for me, which I love, the 12 by 12 die cut topper pad, 250 GSM, 28 sheets, 4 sheets of each, and in here, and you'll see elements of this with Jan's Craft Along in a second, you've got your alphabet in there, you've got things like, for example, your little doggies in there, there's tags in there, there's hearts in there, there's more cats in there too, there's page after page, even border sort of strips in there for you too, all die cut, all going to beautifully just pop out of the cardstock for you. I love these as well, like the little old style Polaroid photographs, they're included in there too. I mean, it is just never ending, so much in this collection, and all of that for $79.99 or $124.95, less your 20% of course if you're a platinum member, $67.83 or $105.96. It is a brilliant collection. So as I say, if you say, well, I can't take part in the craft along, get this now. We'll get this out to you. And then, of course, once you've got it, then you can then re-watch the craft along and do it in your own time. Now, as I've mentioned, don't know how this happened, but I am going to be crafting along over the course of the next couple of hours, making balloons earlier, making scrapbooking projects now too. But I'm glad to say it's not just me crafting along, because we're going to go all the way over to Tennessee and say a good morning, I guess, to the lovely Mary. Mary, how are you?
Hello, Ben. Nice to meet you. I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm really good, thank you. And I must just say, and I know I think I sent you a little message, and I've certainly thanked you in the comments before, but thank you for the card you sent me at Christmas.
Oh, you're welcome.
Are you excited about this craft along?
Excited and nervous at the same time.
Hey, you and me both, Mary. You and me both. But you're into your scrapbooking. Do you do a lot of scrapbooking when you're crafting?
Yes, I do. I do a lot of scrapbooking, especially with my daughter's photos.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. And I know you have got the Bloom and Grace collection that you're going to be using.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you're going to be crafting along with that whilst we are crafting along with the Nitwit Pawsitivity collection. And what we'll do, we'll come back and forth, and as you're kind of, I guess we've got the ability to kind of be able to, you know, do what you're doing, Jan, and then Mary can adapt it to what she's doing in Tennessee.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of it. You know, just because we are actually doing this with our doggies on today, there's no reason why you couldn't do this layout and add other photos to it. And it will convert, because the Blooms with Grace is a similar collection just on a floral nature. You've got pretty much the same elements. So you've got access to the letters, you've got access to the, you know, all the decoupage and everything. So literally it's just going to convert it from a pet theme to more of a floral theme, which, as Mary says, if she likes scrapbooking with pictures of her daughter, absolutely perfect for that, and a beautiful colour scheme as well. So I'm looking forward to see what she does.
Yeah, we will be checking back in with Mary as we go through the show. And also, if you are crafting along, let us know. And also, it'd be great at points during the show if you sort of tell us how you're getting along. And by the end of it, if we've got some sort of little picture gallery of all of your makes, we would love to see those too. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, and as I say, you can get social with us in the usual places. I'm having to read off my phone currently because the tablet's been a real pain, but Diane is in, Karen, Marisol from Rochester, Laura from Manchester, Rosalind from Maryland, and Linda from Buckinghamshire. Mary just saying, I love this collection, and Jan is the best. Lily saying, hi Ben and Jan, looking forward to this. Can't craft along just now, but we'll do it over the weekend. Ben's being very crafty today with his balloons, and now this, good on him. Well, let's see how we're going to get on. It is time to start the craft along. We go at a lovely slow pace for you as well, so if you are crafting, you should find the pace nice and easy, and you can do it in real time with us. So Jan, where are we going to start?
Right, I'm going to break it down into sections for you, Ben, and that's normally how I teach, sort of doing elements at a time. So we're going to start off with all the background elements, which is basically card and paper. So I'm going to move my page out of the way, and the first thing I want you to do is take your card pad, and you can use the same colourway as me. If you're a bit more seasoned crafter and you sort of feel a bit more confident, you can change the colours. But I'm actually going to go for this lovely sort of peachy tone in the background. So all I'm going to do is take my 12 by 12 sheet out of there, and this is going to be the background layer of my scrapbook page, and we're going to layer up on top of this. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. So as I say, we've got lots of different colours in there. If you want to choose one of the other colourways, absolutely fine. You know, as I say, it will all mix and match beautifully. So then I'm going to put that one to one side, and we need the paper pad as well. So again, all different papers in here, but I particularly like the one with the little paw prints on. I think I've just got one sheet left here. But again, and this is why it's got all the different colours in, and you can see I've just picked up the peach one because we've got an instant match going on to one of the colours in here, but you could just as easily have had blue behind it, the brown behind it, the green, you know, however you want to go with it. There's a little bit of freedom with it. So I'm going to take one of those out. That's going to be my background. Okay. So we're going to pop those to one side, and then you will need 2 more sheets of coordinating paper. So again, wherever you go in the pad, you know that these are actually going to match. And you've got a pattern on one side and a solid on the other side. And just as almost as if it's impregnated into the solid, there's all those little paw prints on the back. So I chose this sort of checked one. We're going to go with one of those. So I'm literally tearing one of those out. So that's going to be my second sheet. And then I'm also going to go with one of the blue layers as well. And I think we'll go with this one. So I've taken 3 pieces out of my paper pad. So just to recap that for you, we've now got our background piece of card. And our Ben's already got these all set up for him. We've got 1 pattern piece that's going to be the main background. And then I've got 2 coordinating pieces which pick up the colours in here to do some extra decoration with. So 3 sheets out of the paper pad and 1 piece of card. That's all we've got so far. Put those to one side, and then I want you to just grab your topper, your die cut topper pad.
This is brilliant.
And all I'm going to take out of there is a couple of these border strips, and you can see where I've already pinched some out of here. So I think we'll go with some pink ones, I think, today. So again, doesn't matter what colour, because we're going to have a mixture. And these are just popped in with those little tiny, what we call tangs. So all I've done is literally free them out. You can just see there. So I'm going to put that one to one side, and then I want a second one of the same colour. So all I've done is popped it through, released it at one end, and then if you hold it at either side and just snap those little pips that are holding it in, they'll just pull out of there nicely, okay? And we need 2 of those. So that's all our paper elements for the time being. So just a quick recap again then before we move on to some cutting and sticking.
Yes.
So background sheet is going to stay as it is in one piece. We're going to cut into what are our sort of decorative piece, and then we're also going to cut some strips out of the other 2 pieces, and then you've got the borders. So if I bring this one back in now, you can see where I've got my background layer. I've got the pattern piece in the middle here as a background, and then I've got elements of those 2 pattern pieces, and I'm actually going to use the reverse side of the blue because I didn't want too much contrast here. So you can see where I've got the checked one across the top, and then I've got the blue one underneath to make these 2 feature panels, and then we're going to use the border on the top there. Okay. All right, so I think to start off with, we'll actually put those together, Ben.
Okay.
So is there anything you need to say before we start cutting and sticking, or are we good to continue?
I think we're all good. There's just lots
Excellent.
of lovely comments coming in. I'll just read a couple of them because otherwise I will get behind. Dragon Mum BT says, good day team, CC from Texas, just looking forward to this. Just bought this last week, looking forward to the show. And Hannah on Facebook saying, if Jan had been my teacher at school, I would have learned more as she takes the time to explain. Ben, you'll be fine. I really want this collection, and I think this is going to make me get it. Absolutely, it will. And as we said, if you haven't yet got this collection, grab it on this deal today, and then you can use this craft along once you've got your collection and craft along at your own time. Any questions, by the way, as we're going along to do with this, to do with the actual demo, get those in, and I will ask those to Jan when we have little pauses in the demonstration. Right, so Jan, where do we need to start?
Right, so I'm going to take that main decorative piece, which is going to be our centre panel. All right, so we've got quite a large piece of this that goes right across the background. So whatever you've chosen, if you're following me, it's the one with the paw prints on. If you've chosen your own decorative piece, we're going to cut into that one first. So I want you to turn it on its side because we want a section across here, all right, that's going to be pretty much the width of the paper. So if it's got an orientation on it, just be aware that you're cutting into it the right way. So I've got my large A4 guillotine, and I'm going to cut this down to 8 inches. All right, so along that upright side with your pattern going up to the right, I'm going to literally pop it on at my 8-inch mark here, and I'm literally just going to cut that strip off, and I'm going to pop this one to one side. We'll come back to that bit later. And then because we're working on a 12 by 12 piece of card, I want to rotate this and just take a sliver off the edge to create a border. So we always talk about coming down in 1/4 inch increments, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So bearing in mind my piece of card is 12 inches wide, I'm literally just going to come 1/4 inch down to 11 3/4 and take a sliver, just taking 1/4 inch, little tiny piece off that side, so that when we mat and layer, let me just pop that there, when we mat and layer on here, you can see I've now got a little border at each side. So that's going to be our centre panel.
Okay.
All right? Little bit more cutting to do, all right, so I'm hoping everybody's with me. Let us know in the comments if you want me to go through anything again, all right, we can recap sizes or where to cut, orientation, things like that. So let Ben know, and he can relay that to me if you want anything going through again.
Absolutely.
So next ones then, we're going to take either of your pieces. I'm going to go for the blue piece next, so we're actually going to create the strips now that come across the top and across the bottom. Now the blue one is slightly deeper than my brown one, so whichever way around you want to do these. Again, make sure you've got that orientation right, because we need the long length against whichever way your pattern's going. So I'm going to slide this one in here, and we're literally going to cut this one at 2 3/4 inches. So just before the 3 there, at 2 3/4 inches, hold my guard down and cut that, so we've got a piece here that is 12 across by 2 3/4 inches, and I'm going to do that twice. So I'm going to pop my paper in exactly the same orientation there with that pattern facing to my right, and at 2 3/4 inches I'm going to pop a second piece. Okay, so I've now got 2 pieces that are the same by 12 inches. Now again, just like we did with that first piece, I want to take that little sliver off the end so we've got that border. So if you want to do these separately, you can.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to line mine up together and pop them both in the guillotine together, but we're just taking 1/4 inch down to 11 3/4 inches and just snipping that little sliver off one end. So this now measures, turn it that way so that you can see, 11 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches, and you should have 2 of those. All right, so I'm just going to cut the next ones, and then we'll have a little pause, I think, for everybody to catch up. So all the spare bits pop to one side because we're going to come back to those in a second. So my third sheet of paper then, so that was the third pattern piece that we took. We're going to do pretty much the same, but slightly smaller this time. So this time I just want 2 1/4 inch. So again, I'm lining it up on my guillotine there with the width across at 2 1/4, and we're going to cut 2 of those exactly the same. So again, I'm taking this off the width of my paper, 2 1/4 inch. Okay. Pop the spare piece to one side. We're going to come back to those later for some mats and layers. I'm going to pop them together again. And as I say, if you prefer to cut these separately, do them one at a time. Pop them in the guillotine and just take that little sliver off again to 11 3/4. So just taking 1/4 inch off. So you've now got 2 pieces that measure 11 3/4 by 2 1/4.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've actually got our back piece, our card piece, we've got our main feature, and then we're literally going to build these up as a top. We've got a little bit more to do to them yet, but basically a top and a bottom like so.
Okay.
So I think that's a good point to let people catch up, Ben. Okay, are you with me?
I am with you.
Have you just done all that cutting with me?
I have just.
Perfect.
I'm there. I'm
Perfect.
there. I'm with you so far. Whether things are a little bit wonky or
He's
not.
got them, look, well done.
I'm not quite sure, but I'm ready to go. Lots of lovely comments coming in. Marisol just saying, have 2 TVs on watching Sarah and a tablet too. Really addicted, some may say. Love the doggies in this set and the beautiful colours, says Angie. Yeah, if you are someone who loves your pets or you know someone who is, you're going to be quids in with this set, seriously. Hi, Jan and Ben, says Karen. You both look swell today. Just a quick question from Amanda who says, Jan, what do you do with the full scrapbook sheets once they're done? Do you stick them to a scrapbook album or do you make your own?
It depends, that's a good question. Some of my things are in bought 12 by 12 albums, but I buy these off our lovely internet, which are just a 12 by 12 clear pocket. And these are perfect, and I just store these. I've got a lot of them just in a box because I've got so many of them, but they just protect them nicely from getting stained or tatty or anything like that. And you can put them back to back. There's enough room to pop another one in there facing this way. And I keep these stacked in a big 12 by 12 box, so I can just flick through them. But I have, when the girls were younger, I have got some that are actually big 12 by 12 scrapbooks that you can flick through as like a photograph album. So a bit of both, really.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I'm loving that we're doing so many more demos as far as scrapbooking is concerned, and now we're doing a craft along with it as well. It seems to me like it's something that you guys want to see a lot more of, and I know Mary, who is crafting along with us in Tennessee, is loving scrapbooking. What time is it there, Mary, by the way?
It's about 9:30ish.
Oh, so it's a good time then. I just wonder whether it was like 5 o'clock in the morning or something, and you got up super early to be crafting along with us. How are you getting on so far? Are we going at a good pace for you as far as the craft along is concerned?
Yes, the pace is very good. So Japan is so easy to follow.
Brilliant. We've got a little bit of a crackly line there, but we'll carry on. Actually, we'll come back to Mary in just a second. The line's gone just a little bit crackly there, so we'll see if we can sort that out and hopefully chat to Mary a little bit more in just a few moments' time. Right, so we've got kind of like our base layer. We've got our bits and pieces cut. Do you want to go on to the next the next sort of part?
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of tearing now,
Okay.
just to expose some of the edges. I like this as a technique, and it just exposes the edge of the cardstock. So I think to be safe, what we'll do is we're going to stick that main piece on.
Okay.
So that main piece that we cut at 8 inches by 11 3/4, we'll actually get this piece stuck down so that that's out of the way.
Right.
That's the very background piece. So I'm going to use my tape runner.
Okay.
So you've heard us talk about these. These are actually acid-free. They're archival safe. And I know there's a lot of questions about this with photographs, because if you use the wrong adhesives, over time, and I'm talking over the years, it can damage the photos. And I know a lot of you scrapbookers will be aware of that. But most of our glues are actually acid-free, so you can use them safely. And these are great. You're not adding a lot of bulk. I've tried not to use too much layering on this today because I don't want to add too much bulk if you are wanting to put them in a scrapbook. So I'm going to use my tape runner and literally just pop some on the back of here. So we're going to go all the way around and stick this one down completely. So all 4 sides with your tape runner. Don't forget to just give it that little flick.
I was doing that, Jan.
Excellent, just
Yep.
to break that adhesive on it. Okay, and then I usually pop a piece across the middle so that you don't get any bubbling in the middle. And then what I want you to do is centre this. All right, I don't know why I've just turned my card round because it's the same all the way around, but pop it on here, and you want to aim for roughly the same gap at the bottom as you are at the top. I've just turned it round because it's easier to work vertically. All right, so it doesn't matter if it's not perfect because we're going to cover it up, but just eyeballing it, you've got a 1/4 inch gap at the edge and about the same distance at either side. And then give that one a nice good press down where you've popped that adhesive. All right, so just give it a rub.
Yep.
When you've warmed up that adhesive, it just allows it to stick really nicely. So that
Okay.
one's on there nice and safe out of the way now, so we can pop that to one side.
Okay.
Now those pieces that we cut, we're going to bring these back into play now. So I want you to take one set. So we've got one blue piece in my case and one brown piece. So
Yep.
one of the wider ones and then the slightly narrower one.
Okay.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to tear down this long edge. Now there's not a lot of this showing, but again I'm just being aware of which way those paw prints going. This is going to be my top section, so I'm going to tear along the bottom with the paw prints facing left so that they're actually the right way when we stick them down. But it's not obvious, so don't worry if you get that bit wrong.
So along the bottom with the paw prints facing left.
So I've got my paw prints facing to the left, and we're going to tear down this right-hand side.
Right.
And we're going to tear towards us,
Yeah.
so that it exposes that white core of the paper. All right. Now I'm going to do this freehand. The reason I asked you to pop a pencil and ruler on your equipment list is because if you want to, we're going to take about just over 1/4 inch off it. Now, if you're not sure about that, flip it over and mark yourself with a ruler a 1/4 inch line to work down. All right, but I just tend to do it freehand, and the whole idea is it doesn't have to be straight. It doesn't matter if it's wobbly. That's what we're going for. So we're going to start at the side furthest away from us.
Yeah.
I'm going to pinch it with my thumb and finger as a guideline.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tear, move my finger, tear all the way, and I'm going to try and make it deliberately a little bit wobbly. So I'm sort of going up and down. And each time, can you see I'm moving my thumb and finger down just to anchor it so that it doesn't tear into the middle of your piece of paper?
I've never been so nervous about tearing something.
Keep going. Try and keep it roughly the same size so that you're not getting too much to take away. As I said, you're about 1/4 inch. And then literally, if you've got your thumb against it, you shouldn't go wrong with it, all the way to the edge. So we end up with this little bit that's waste. And then you've got that lovely torn edge on there, which just, as I say, exposes the core of the paper there with that nice little white edge.
Hang
So
on.
all the way down one side. And then we've got the top here. So this is going to be my top section here with the torn edge at the bottom. Okay. And then we're going to do exactly the same with that brown piece. So again, this has not really got a direction. It doesn't really matter with mine. If it has, again, you want that direction facing the top bit at the left-hand side, and we're going to tear on the right. If you're left-handed, flip it round and do it the other way. So actually work with your paper this way and tear with your left hand,
Right.
all right? But I'm right-handed, so I'm going this exactly the same again. I'm literally going to hold it with my thumb and finger, and I'm going to do exactly the same, little bit of up and down just to make it not perfectly straight. Expose that white fibre in the card, and we're going to go all the way down to the bottom. Okay?
Yeah.
All the way, take that piece off. So that little bit's scrap unless you want to save it for anything else. So we should end up with 2 pieces now that are going to layer over the top of each other and leave us a little, here he goes, look.
I don't think I've ever been so quiet.
Tearing away.
On a show.
Yep. Can you see, I love how it exposes that white fibre of the card. I think it just gives it a little bit of, yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Look
I'm
at
happy with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ben's chose some slightly different papers as well, which I think is nice because we'll be able to see a little bit of variety there, yeah?
Yeah.
So now we're going to do exactly the same with the bottom ones. The only thing I want to point out now is that I've turned my paw prints because I want, well, the paw prints are the same way, but I want to work on this side. All right, so at the moment my paw prints are facing up because this is going to be my bottom section, but I want to tear off the left-hand side. Now, because I'm right-handed, I'm therefore going to spin this around. So all I've done is started with the paw prints the same way as we had them, and I'm literally going to turn it to work with my right hand. All right, and again, I'm just going to do exactly the same. So we're going to do this to all 4 pieces, taking that piece off the edge just to expose those fibres. So just making sure, as I say, it's not obvious that this pattern is on here. When we've got the other piece covering it, I don't think it'll be that obvious if you get them the wrong way around.
Yeah, I may well have done that, but I'm not too worried.
No, it won't show.
No.
I don't think anybody would pick it up, to be honest.
Hey, my first crafty demo, so I'm not too worried.
I think you're doing a great job.
We're doing all right so far, Jan.
Yeah.
We're doing okay.
And then again, we've got that last piece. So again, this one hasn't got a direction, so I don't need to worry about flipping it round. Same again. So this is the last one. Just literally, and we should be expert at this now, just tearing down. All right, 4 goes at it, and it's meant to look uneven. This is what I love about it. We're not asking you to tear a straight line. I deliberately sort of go up and down with it. So you've got a piece that's going to be the bottom edge and a piece that's going to be the top edge, like so.
Done.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the next bit we're going to do is get those stuck down to our background to make that, that top and bottom edge. So if you take the top one first, okay, and you want the blue layer, or your longest, your deepest layer first, we're going to stick down first, and then we're going to stick this one over the top. All right, so the deepest layer, if you're following me, the blue layer, if you've chosen your own colours, whichever one you cut, the deepest. Back to that tape runner again, and again I'm just going to run that across the edge there on both sides, remembering to flick that glue just to break the adhesion, and down each side there just to keep that in place. And then again, I tend to turn my work because I find it easier to work vertically like so. But if you work across, absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I just prefer to turn it round. And what we're going to do is we're going to create that same border, so that 1/4 inch border, and you should find that this lines up with your piece that you've already stuck down. So if you just lay it down gently to make sure it's in place, you can see I've got that 1/4 inch all the way around, and then when you're happy, just give it a good rub to seal it down. Yep.
I think mine is about there, sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Fantastic. So then your next one, again, lots of repetitiveness for you today, just as practice. So again, tape runner on there, and we're going to do the same again. So we need to pop the glue down each side, just flicking that adhesive as we go. And we're going to stick this one over the top of the one that we've just done.
Okay.
So I'm literally going to line the corners up. I want it to match on the top edge so that there's no blue showing.
Yeah.
But I want it to expose that difference that we've made at the bottom. And
so
as
at
I
the
say,
back we're lining it up,
lay it down lightly. Yep, and then when you're happy with it, you can actually press it into place.
Okay.
Okay?
Hey!
Yep.
Hey!
So that's our top edge done.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we've got to create the bottom. Now the only thing that's different at the bottom is I'm not going to stick it down flat. What I've done is I've created a pocket in the bottom. Can you see how my tags slot behind it there? So I've only stuck it around 3 edges. I put a little bit under where my photo's going to go here,
Yeah.
but all along this edge here is actually loose so that we can pop some bits and pieces in. And I've got my journaling on one of those. So let me show you that bit then. So your 2 pieces that you've got left, take the wider one again, in my case the blue one, all right? I'm going to pop my tape all the way along the straight edge at the bottom.
Right, okay.
So the one opposite your torn edge.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come up each side.
Yeah.
Yep. So you've almost created like that area in the middle with no glue.
Yeah.
Now, because my photos on my layout are going at the right, I'm also just going to put a little bit across that right-hand side, because it doesn't matter if it's under the photo there. But here, I've got no adhesive. So about just under halfway.
Yeah.
And no adhesive, and then we're going to pop that one down. So again, you're just going to leave that 1/4 inch gap, line it up with that first piece that we put down, and then when you're happy with the position, press it down there, but you should have a gap in this section here that's not stuck down. Okay? That makes sense?
Yeah, sorry, I got a bit
Brilliant.
quiet. Oh, mine's a bit
He's
wonky.
gone quiet on me.
Oh,
He's thinking.
hello.
You got your tongue stuck out, Ben?
Do you know what? That is the next
That's
level.
the next bit.
The tongue getting stuck out. Just want to make sure I get that.
Look at this precision.
Is
Look
that
at
about
that.
right there?
Nice border around there.
Not too shabby, is it?
Fantastic.
Hey.
And have you got a little gap? Have you got a little gap in your pocket? Try you.
Yes,
Yeah,
you've got a little gap there as well.
fantastic, look,
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
brilliant.
Jan.
Right, so this one, because it's going over the top, we can stick that one all the way down.
Okay.
So because this is not going to affect this element here, we can stick this one all the way down.
Okay.
So just like we did with the top section, glue all the way around.
Yeah.
Okay, and then down each edge. And that one can be lined up just like we did the top one. So go for the corners, just press it gently, line up that straight edge.
So button
and
this
then
up to
when
the
you're
base,
happy
yeah.
with your position,
Yeah.
give it a good press down. Okay, so that's how far we've got so far. So I'm just going to do one more bit to this background layer, and then I think we'll have a break and make sure that everybody's caught up.
We'll have a break. We'll have a cup of coffee because I'm stressing over here, but I'm not stressing. But like, it's just nerve-wracking, isn't it? How do you do this day in, day out? How do you do this?
I absolutely love it. As I said many times, this is not like a job. It's not. I'm doing what I love doing.
Yeah.
So the last thing then for the background is those 2 border strips that we took out.
Oh yes.
We're just going to add those on as a decoration. Now the tape runner's a little bit wide for these, so I did ask you to grab your tacky glue at this point, and
Yeah.
I've got mine in my little applicator, but if you've just got the bigger glue bottle, works the same. And remember, less is more with your glue. So if you turn this over, and all I'm going to do is just run a bead of glue all the way from
that
one
comes out
end.
quick, doesn't it?
What's he done?
It comes out quick.
Have you took the whole lid off?
No, I just put the thing up, but it went.
Yeah, that's why I tend to use the thinner one.
Yeah, hang on.
But just smooth it out with your finger if it's come out too fast, and then we'll get you cleaned up.
No, you're all right.
So all the way along there, and then I'm just going to position this one a little bit up from where those tears finished, and then just centre it. It's just a wee bit shorter than the paper layers, but I'm not too worried about that. And then with your tacky glue, just give it a second for it to grab.
Yeah.
And then when you've done the top one, I'm going to do exactly the same across the bottom.
Where have you put that then? Just towards the bottom?
So it's just up from where you've got that torn edge.
So about
I've
there
just
then.
left a little bit showing. Okay.
About there.
Yep, that's fine. Perfect. And as I say, it's just a wee bit shorter, so I've just centred it between the 2 outside edges.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And then we're going to do exactly the same at the bottom. So I wanted to create something that gave us lots of practice today, particularly with paper sculpting, paper art, batting and layering, things like that.
Yeah.
So again, I've done that second one, and I'm going to do the same again. Just bring it down slightly from that torn edge. Centre it between the 2 edges.
I've got the hang of the tacky glue now.
You got it now.
You just don't squeeze it too hard, you see?
No.
That's just have to little touch. You have to be soft and delicate, don't you?
And again, just make sure that tacky glue's grabbed. And that's our background section complete. We're going to work on top of that now. All right.
Okay.
So I think that would be a good time, Ben, when you've got your last piece stuck down, to have a little catch up and make sure that everybody's okay with the timing and they've got their background done to this level.
Well, listen, I am having an absolute ball. Hopefully you are if you're crafting along as well. Becky's saying, looking forward to this. My first go at scrapbooking. Me too, Becky, absolutely. Cindy saying, always look forward to seeing Jan's take, always unique. Linda saying, I'm sure your daughter Ben would enjoy doing this with you. Absolutely, learning new skills here, you see, which I can definitely take home. Loving the papers, says Susie T. Laura on Facebook saying, loving that you're crafting along too, Ben. Love the paw print papers, says Lakieta. And Kelly saying, I love that you have Ben crafting along as well. Do you know what? I'd sort of agreed to do this, and then literally about half an hour before we were due to come on air, there was a knock at the green room. Right, get in here, you're crafting. I was like, ah! It's one thing saying you're going to do it, isn't it? And another thing doing. But actually, I am having a good time. I'm slightly nervous, but I'm having a good time. This is a great thing. And actually, hopefully we've got the line back with Mary in Tennessee. How are you getting on, Mary? Is it all going well with you? Are you still nervous, or have you calmed down?
I'm calmed down a little bit.
Everybody on Facebook saying you're doing amazing so far. Just to say, how long have you been crafting, Mary?
Oh my gosh, since 2006.
Wow. And what is your particular sort of favorite craft that you love to do, your sort of go-to?
Card making and scrapbooking are my top two.
Yeah. And how often do you get a chance to do your crafting? Do you get a lot of time, or is it something you sort of work in and around your daily life?
Well, we have this promise for, Susan and I, we craft every day. It's like our 2021 year craft. So we craft every day, every single day. We already have 60 plus cards made.
Wow. Is that Susan who joined me a few weeks back?
Rushton, yes.
Yeah. So you guys connect via Zoom, do you?
Yes, we do.
And did you meet through Crafters TV?
Yes. I've met a lot of friends through Crafters TV. Crafters Companion.
That is so great to hear. And when did you find us here on the channel? When did you find Crafters TV?
About a year ago when Joe started.
Amazing. And then since then, you've obviously watched all the shows, and every day you're watching, and you've met loads of people through the Crafters TV.
Yes, and I've been on the show a few times.
Yeah, I did know. Actually, Mary, I was a bit starstruck because I saw your name for the craft along, and I know that you've been on a few of the shows. So I thought, like, yes, Mary's back. Mary is back. How are you getting along so far? Can you show us what you've been doing in your craft room?
Well, I did a different take on that background, but then.
That looks fab. But this is what I mean, though. Once you've learnt those skills, you can transfer them into any collection. That looks beautiful with the floral collection. Fab job there, yeah?
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is what I mean, even though we're working with pets, Ben, you can easily translate that into other collections, yeah? Fantastic.
Yeah.
Very versatile.
That's it, and they are really, really cool collections. By the way, producer Johnny is just saying in my ear, Mary, that he thinks we should come over once the world reopens up again and do like a craft along from Tennessee. He's a bit of a guitarist, you see, and he's always wanted to come and come to Tennessee, you see, to Nashville, Tennessee. So maybe we can make that work in the future.
Well, come on down. You're welcome anytime.
We'll all craft along, and producer Johnny can sit in the corner and play us a few tunes on his guitar.
with his cowboy hat on.
I love that. Oh, Mary, right, we're going to crack on. Looking great so far. I think we're all doing well with this craft along. So we're going to go back to Jan now and get ready for the next few steps. I'm just checking to see if we've got any questions. Loads of comments. Any questions that you want to ask about this craft along, then let us know. And any questions about the collection too, then please do get in touch and we'll answer those as we head through. And also, if you are crafting along with us, feel free to send in pictures as to where you're up to, how you're looking so far, and then we'll show the finished projects at the end. And any projects that you've made with the Pawsitivty collection, or indeed the Bloom and Grace collection, we would love to see this, particularly the Pawsitivity, because we all love to see pictures of pets. So whether you've crafted a little scrapbook page for the dogs or the cats, or you've made some lovely cards, we want to see. Studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Send in those pictures. Right, Jan, I think we are just about ready for the next step.
Yep. Fantastic. So what we're going to do next, there's just one piece that needs gluing together. So if we do this now and give it time to dry, because we're going to use our 3D collal glue.
Okay.
And it does take sort of about 30 minutes or so to dry-ish. Perhaps a bit warmer in here, so perhaps a bit quicker. So that if we get that done now and pop it to one side, and then we can carry on with the layout. So I have taken my decoupage topper pad this time. Now we're doing the doggies.
Yes.
Like I said at the top of the show, if you're doing cats on yours, grab your paper pad that's got the cat toppers in and do exactly the same but with the cat one. So all I'm going to do is take one of the sheets out of here.
Yep.
So there's loads of these. You could go on forever
Tons
with
in
these. All right, and then again, we're just going to pop these little pieces out. So
Okay.
I tend to look for where it's done and just put my thumbs at the side of it and pop. I know when Craig was on the other day, he said he preferred it to snip where those little pieces were, but you can just see where it's fastened, just pop, and it just pops away. So we're just going to pop those out. All right.
Okie dokie.
I don't know what's going off in my ear, but I only caught the tail end of that then. And I dread to think.
There's some busy shows Johnny was just telling me about.
Right.
That's heading this weekend.
Okay.
Of course, the start of our brand new Play Your Crafts Right on Saturday at 12:30. Loads
I'm
of games
looking
and
forward to
chances to
watching
win.
those.
Yeah.
Yep.
Debbie and Joe, that'll be on
Yep.
Saturday. Right, so I've got me
So all three pieces then we're going to pop out of there. Just be gentle, don't pull them out too fast and rip them.
Ooh.
And then the little sleeping one, and then pop that to one side. We don't need that piece, all right? And what I like to do with them is just give them just a gentle, I'm just rubbing my finger underneath it.
Okay.
Just to shape it a little bit, not a lot, because I don't want too much height on the page, but rather than it just laying flat. Can you see now, if we want it on something flat. If I pop it on here now, you can just see where it's got that little bit of shaping in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah? And then I'm going to do the same with all three pieces. So just rub your finger underneath gently.
Can I ask you a question too? So I know we're going to use the 3D glue. So could you, at this point, use the Craig's favourite, the
You could. But you
foam
know my history with those, Ben.
Yeah,
so I'm
after last
staying
week.
clear. But yes, you could use your foam pads.
Okay.
Again, we're going to go with the collal glue this time. And that's why I popped the pokey tool on the list. If you use the syringe with yours, absolutely perfect. But again, syringes and I don't get on either.
I don't know if I've got a pokey tool over here.
You might be able to just pop it straight in on the back if not, Ben.
Okay.
All right, if you use your tube, I'll do it that way so that you can do it. And you just want some sort of decent size, not too heavy, but decent sized blobs on the back there.
Right.
They don't want to be too much.
How many are you doing?
We don't want to create too much depth.
No.
And I've just realised I've put it on the back of my large one. Okay, so don't do as I do.
That's what I've just done.
Have you? Right,
Yeah.
well, we'll have to leave him upside down then, all right? Because we actually wanted to stick these ones on, okay? So not to worry. So just leave him there with his bits of glue on. If you haven't done him yet, the big one, don't worry.
Oh, are we going to stick that on though?
We need it to dry first.
Ah.
Yeah, that's okay.
I can probably scrape it off actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm just going to do now, otherwise we're going to end up with glue everywhere. So yeah, don't do as I do.
No.
All right, I'm just going to take that off quickly. I was getting a bit giddy there because I just need that glue to dry before we stick it down totally. So I'm just going to take it off the back there. My apologies if you actually got your glue on there first. So all I've done is just scraped it off and then I'm just going to rub the back there.
Okay.
Because I want him to be able to dry before we stick him down. Yeah, emergency averted.
That's all right.
Okay. So what I actually meant to say was take the second piece.
And glue on that bit.
All right, so we'll just rewind over that bit and we're going to pop some glue on that bit. Just maybe 2 or 3 bits on there and then literally line him up with the one underneath and pop him. Don't press him too flat. You want a little bit of depth in it, but not too much with it being a scrapbook page.
Okay.
Perhaps less than what I would do if I was doing a card.
Right.
All right, and then again on the small piece, I've done the same again with the little one that's laying asleep and he's going to go on the top again. So again, I'm just pressing it down enough for it to adhere, but not so much that it's stuck too high up. So if I hold this up now, you can see that there's not a massive amount of depth on it, but you are getting that decoupaged effect.
Okay.
Yep, and then we're going to just pop him to one side to dry a little bit before we pop him on the page.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so that's that step done. Don't forget with your 3D collage, when you pop it away, squeeze the glue up until you can see that little bit of glue in the top there.
Yeah.
So that your lid connects with the glue.
Okay.
All right, well, if there's any air in there, that's when this one dries out. It doesn't like air. Okay?
Good.
Right, so coming back to our page then, we're going to work on the mats and layers for the photos. Now, if you got your photos ready, I did pop a note on my social media that you needed 5.5 by 3.5 for your photos. If you haven't got photos ready, then I tend to make these as photo mats and just pop them in the position that you're going to put your photos and then just tack them down gently so that you can remove them and add your photos at a later date. Gives you an idea of what size you're working with. So I'm going to work with 2 pictures, and my pictures measure 5.5 by 3.5. So imagine these are my photos. I've only got the one photo, so I might take them off the original page when we finish. But we're going to work here and make a couple of mats and layers to put these on. Now, I said at the beginning to pop your scraps of paper to one side, and I had the larger piece of the brown and the blue to one side. So we're going to make some mats and layers. We need your guillotine.
Yep.
So I'm going to bring my guillotine back into play. Now I'm going to start with the brown one, and I'm going to work on the plain side this time. And I'm going to go a quarter of an inch up from my photo. So we're going to go to 5 3/4 and 3 3/4. All right, so we want 5, and I'm not particularly worried about the orientation now because it's not going to show enough. So I want 5 3/4 by 3 3/4.
Okay.
So I'm just going to line these up on my guillotine at 3 3/4 there, and then flip it round to 5 3/4 inches. And that's going to be our first mat that's just a quarter of an inch bigger than my photo.
Got you.
Okay, and we need to do that twice. So I'm going to make another one. So if we want to just watch again, I've gone 3 3/4 in one side and then turned it and gone 5 3/4 on the long side. So that is just a quarter of an inch bigger all the way round than my photo. So that's our first mat. Yep. And then from the blue scrap that we had left, we're going to do the same again, but this time we're going to go up a quarter of an inch again. So I actually want, let me just make sure that's long enough. Yep. So I actually want this time 4 inches in width by 6 inches in height. Okay, so 4 across the short side by 6 down the long side, and again your brown piece should then mat and layer on top of this one. And I know we've had questions before about the matting and layering, but if you do have our guillotine, it is so easy to use because of all the guidelines on it. So where I'm actually lining it up, I'm making sure that it's buttered up against that top edge.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my 4-inch mark, and because I've got the grid all the way down, I can make sure that this is running parallel all the way down here, holding the finger guard, and just a push. When you bring your guillotine down, just push it against the blade here.
Yeah, because that's what I was doing wrong earlier, wasn't it? So it's pushing it up.
And then flip it round, and again I'm going to line it up on the 6-inch mark. Make sure it's nice and straight. It's running parallel down here. Hold your finger guard down, and again as you come down, push it towards the blade here. Yeah. And you'll get that lovely nice clean cut. And we've got our second mat there that's just a quarter of an inch bigger. Perfect. All the way round. Okay? Fabulous. So I pop my guillotine to one side, and we can actually get those stuck together now. So I'll just pop those little bits. I've not thrown only the little skinny bits that I'm throwing away. Yeah. I've not thrown anything else away because we're going to make a few tags towards the end. So let's get these stuck together now.
Are we back to tape pen here?
Coming back to my tape pen.
Amanda, the reason I ask, Amanda's just saying, No, not Amanda at all. Who was it? Blah, 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 blah. I've just seen a question come in. Where's it gone? Hadassah. I'm not much of a scrapbook crafter, but that's because I don't know where to start. Well, hopefully you kind of know where to start now with this. But she's just asking, what is the best adhesives for scrapbooking? I mean, I'm guessing that this tape pen's a godsend, isn't it?
The tape pens are perfect. And as I say, the one thing to be aware of if you're using, particularly if you're using original photos, is that you need your product to be acid free. It needs to be what we call archival safe. In other words, hopefully these pages are going to last a long time. And if you use a glue that's not acid free, the acid over time, and I'm talking over the years, not in a few days time, over the years it can affect the photo's quality. So all the glues that you use are actually acid free, or what we call archival safe, and the glue pen is. I checked all this before we started just to make sure, which that's why I've chosen it to use. It's easy to use, it sticks, the quality of the tape in here is amazing, and it's, you know, it's just perfect for the job. It's not adding too much bulk in there. You've not got to worry about your paper ruttling if you're using a wet glue, and honestly, it is just perfect to have alongside your scrapbook kits. And I always start, just going back to where to start, I always start with my photos.
Yes.
I always think about what's going to be my focal point on the page, and then what am I going to use with it, and then sort of play about with the layout, what I call dry. And we've actually stuck it down as we've gone along today because I'd already worked all this out, but at home I would never stick anything down until I'd pretty much got the whole layout as I wanted it, because there's always a chance that I'd want to move something around. So I always lay it out what I call dry, put everything into position, decide where it's going to go, usually take a photograph of it then on my phone so that I can remember where anything goes, and then take it all apart and stick it back together is how I normally work.
Like that.
So coming back to these then, literally we're going to stick that brown layer on top of the blue layer.
Okay.
So I'm using my tape pen again all the way around the edge there, little bit in the centre just for good measure, and then we're just going to mat and layer so that you've got that even border all the way around. And again, with your tape pens, if you just put them down gently and don't press, whoops, she says, it's stuck to my finger. That's how sticky it is. Just pop it gently where you want it to be. Yeah. And just double check that it's in the right place. And then when you're happy with it, you can commit to actually sealing it down. So we want 2 of those at the ready, and we're going to do exactly the same with that second one. Okay. So tape on the back, flick just to break that adhesive. If ever you have trouble with that bit of glue coming from your tape pen here, it's when you've not broken that adhesion. So along you go and just flick it to break it. And then again, we're going to do exactly the same. Line this one. I wanted a lot of repetition in this one so that you get practice of doing the stages, and then hopefully you can actually transfer this into your own crafting and have a go at some of your own designs. So again, I can hear him banging it down. Is it stuck?
I'm very delicate over this side. Very, very delicate, as you can hear.
Stick down, stick down.
Yeah, there you go. Look.
So if you have your photos at the ready, you can do exactly the same with your photo layer. So the tape will be fine on the back of it, and you can stick your photos on the top there.
My photos are not quite the size that you said, but I'm going to stick them on anyway.
That's fine. Yeah. Absolutely fine. Don't worry about that. Yeah. If you've got a little gap in it, you just stick an embellishment over it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing. So
Look at the doggies. Who are they, Ben?
Oh, it's the same. So this is Mac.
All right.
He's our border collie, tricolour border collie. He's 8.
Oh, bless him, playing in the snow.
Yeah, as long as if he's got a ball or a stick, he's the happiest doggo ever. He really is. But active. He needs to be out. Like, we have to walk him twice a day because otherwise he goes.
He
goes stir crazy. Because you got your. I haven't asked you yet, but your 2 over there. You got a Yorkshire Terrier and a Springer, haven't you?
Cocker.
Cocker, rather.
Yeah,
Cocker.
Little Yorkshire. Well, he's not so little, my Yorkshire Terrier. He's a good big boy, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 14 and a half years old, bless him. The vet called him a geriatric the other day, so we've nicknamed him Jerry. His name's actually Benji.
Oh, good name.
But we've nicknamed him Jerry because she called him a geriatric, and I was like, oh. But he is in their terms, yeah. He's doing really well, bless him.
That's a good age for a Yorkie.
Pardon?
That's a good age for a Yorkie, isn't it? 14,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then this is Lacey. She's a Cocker Spaniel. She's from working stock, so she's got a smoother coat than a traditional Cocker Spaniel, but she's absolutely nuts. Anybody that owns a Spaniel will understand what I'm talking about. She's as mad as a box of frogs, honestly.
Brilliant.
So So, as I say, if you've got your photos, I've only got the one set, so I'm not going to stick mine on. But if you have, you can do exactly the same and get your layers with your photographs on and pop those to one side.
Okay.
So that's those bits sorted. Okie dokes, right, let me pop those to one side and let's see what we're going to do next. So if I bring my back layer back in, my sort of background, I'm literally just going to use these two layers without the photos. And as again, position these. I'm sort of going to go a little bit at an angle like so. But I'm not going to stick those down just yet. As I say, I want to make sure the position and everything else is right. So I think we'll do the title next, which is nice and straightforward.
Yeah.
So in your die cut topper pad, we've got one of the sheets is full of alphabets. Okay. So if you're working on the dogs, you want the letters for dogs. If you're working on cats, then take your letters out for cats. So I'm just going to pop out of mine a D.
Remember, you get a full pad of this as well.
You do, yeah, there's plenty to go at. I think there's 4 sheets of each one in there. I want the G. And I love how these are all different shades of the paper pad as well. So again, it doesn't matter what letter, what word you're spelling. You've got a range of colours. Because I thought, oh, I'm not sure, I've not used any pink for a change on my page. When I took the S out, it was quite a bright pink. And I thought, I've not really used much that's pink. But just as if by magic, my little girl's actually wearing her pink harness.
Yeah.
So I thought this actually links in with the pink here. But if you're worried about that you hadn't got any pink, just pop a pink embellishment just to tie it in. It's not really an issue. I've used the pink borders on this one this time as well. So what we're going to do with those, just take out any of those little bits out of the middle.
Little pips, yeah.
That are a waste. And if you don't like the little pips on the outside edge, I know some people don't like to see those. Couple of ways. You can either take your scissors and just run them along the edge to get rid of them.
Okay.
But one of the easiest things I find, and I didn't give you one of these, Ben, just got a cheap as chips nail file.
Oh, okay.
And I tend to just brush the edge with the nail file, and all it does is smooth those little pips off. So again, some people don't mind them. Other people, it's sort of, I must admit, they mess with my OCD a little bit. I'm not going to worry too much about them today, but yeah, a couple of ways of dealing with them.
Okay.
So the reason I said not to stick this down yet was to make sure that we'd got enough space to actually spell. You see, I'm just a wee bit close there, so I know that these want to move over a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll get the lettering stuck down, I think, and make sure that that's actually secure. So you can either use your tape runner for this, or you can go back to your tacky glue, whichever you prefer.
Okay.
I'm going to go for the tacky, just to get a nice, good, gives me a little bit of movement, whereas the tape pen tends to grab a bit more. So I'm just going to pop little bit on, and I'm going to work from that outside edge just slightly down from where you've got that blue layer. Line up that first one with your outside edge, and again with the tacky, it just takes a second. Are
you going straight with this then, or are you going to sort of do the dog sort of bit?
Again, you know, you could actually go like this with them,
yeah.
I'm a bit of a, you know, my OCD things have to be, this is sort of daring for me, going at an angle with the photo, so don't go too much.
Write it straight then.
Unevenness, So I went straight, but yeah, if you want to go at different angles with them, absolutely fine. You could actually go, you're probably room to do DOGS like so.
Yeah.
You know, have a play around with it, but I'm just going to go straight across with mine.
I'll go with
Leave
you
roughly an even gap between the letters. So I've got about 1/8 of an inch, and then I'm eyeballing the bottom, but if you're not sure about whether it's straight, pop your ruler down.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can pop them along there to get them straight.
Yeah, I think mine might be a bit wonky, but we won't...
Again, if you're not sure about getting them straight, deliberately put them wonky. That's the way to get round that.
Oh, okay.
If you're not sure about whether you can get things on a straight line or not, as I say, deliberately go wonky with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just leaving about 1/8 of an inch in between the letters on mine. But like, if you want to overlap them, absolutely fine. And then that last one on the S there. And we'll get, and that gives me the position then for the photo mats.
Wonk. I'm happy with that though.
Yeah.
I am having the best time. I've got to tell you, I am having the best time with this.
We make a crafter out of you.
Well, I know.
And how brilliant would it be, though, Ben, for you to be able to go home and share these skills?
I know. Well,
Yeah?
I am picking up a few bits. We have done some stamping at home recently, but I'm definitely going to take this back home this week and do some scrapbooking. It's great.
Right.
It's so achievable. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
So I think a little bit more cutting with the guillotine,
Right.
just to make some tags, and then we're about ready for the last bit of assembling. How are we doing for time?
We are all good.
Excellent. Yep. So what I'm going to do then is bring my guillotine back in.
Yeah.
I'm going to work with these bits of scraps that's left. Like I say, I never throw any of this away until I've done. And then once I am going to throw those bits that we tore off because I don't need those.
Okay.
But the rest of it, hang on to these. And then when I finish, whatever I've got left, I normally put that in a little plastic pocket and keep it with my paper pad. I wouldn't even throw these bits away. You never know when something might come in handy. So what I want to do now then, I've just got a little cluster of tags just as a decoration in here. And I've written on one which we'll do at the end as journaling. That's why I asked you to bring a piece of plain white card.
Okay.
And I always pop a date as to when I've made my scrapbook pages somewhere in the design. So sometimes it lends itself to write it maybe alongside the photo. You might have a photo that's got the date printed on it, perfect. But I always somewhere like to try, and on this occasion I've popped it on one of the little tags here that's going to slot in the pocket. So we're going to make the 3 tags, and then I asked you to bring along a little bit scrap of white card. If you haven't got that, we can always add that in at a later date. I'll give you the measurements for it. So the largest one then I'm going to make out of my blue scrap that's left, and I'm going to use that other side this time. So let's just pop that to one side. So tags, we need 3.5 by 2.5. So I want 2.5 in width by 3.5. Let me just bring this down so you can see where I'm at in height to make one. So that's one bit. Leave the scrap to one side, and we'll cut the corners off them in a second. The second one, we're going to do 3 by 1 3/4, and I'll recap these for you once we've cut them.
Okay.
So we want 1 3/4, and I'm using that paw print one for this one, by 3 inches, did I say? Yep. That's fantastic. So that's the next one. And then I'm going to use a scrap of the brown that's left, which might just be about wide enough. Let me have a look. Not quite. So a scrap of this one, then we're going to go for 1 3/4 again. So I'll recap these measurements in a second for you. And then we're going to go 2 3/8 on there. Is that right? 2 3/8, yeah.
Perfect.
So all the scraps together out of the, any little tiny bits I've got rid of,
Okay.
so we don't need those. And then I got my piece, I asked you to bring along a scrap of white that was 4 by 2.5.
Right.
All right, so that's going to be my 4th tag. So all these pieces together now, then all we need to do is make them a tag shape. And the easiest way I find to do that, turn this one over, I'm literally going to eyeball one side of it, and I'm coming down maybe about 1/2 inch. If you prefer to measure this, you can get your ruler out and measure, but I tend to just come sort of by eye and literally chop a corner off.
By eye.
By eye.
Okay.
All I've done is literally chopped a corner off it there. And then hang on to that corner, and what I'm going to do is flip it over. So from here, I'm just going to turn it over completely.
Yeah.
Pop it on the other corner.
Uh-huh.
And line it up with that right angle on the corner, and use that one as a guide, to snip the other side, and you've got sort of an equal,
Oh, okay.
yeah, to make your tag shape there. All right, and I'm going to do that on all of them.
Okay.
All right. So
Oh, yeah!
yeah.
Sorry, I know. Well done, Ben's just used a pair of scissors.
Little
Look at
things.
Look at
There
the
you
little tag
go,
there.
look.
Perfect,
Yeah.
that, isn't it? Perfect.
Fantastic. All right.
God, I'm having too
So
much
again,
fun here.
Chop one corner,
Yeah.
flip it over, and we're going to do that the same on all 4 of them.
Do you know what I'm also doing this side of the studio, which all of our crafters do? I'm putting all the mess on the floor. Just wiping it off onto the floor. Yeah, yeah. Just for you, Charlotte.
So again, it doesn't really matter what the angle is for these. They're just a little bit of a...
Oh yeah, I meant to say.
Add extra embellishments.
Bernie's watching the show. She's written you a limerick, Jan.
Has she?
Yeah, which I will read out to you in just a second. I've got to be honest with you. I am struggling a bit with talking and reading and crafting at the same time.
Bless.
So if I have been quieter today,
we'll have a stop when we've done this bit so that we can get everybody caught up.
Yeah.
So literally, all I've done then is make that tag shape on all 4 of mine. You just wanted a rest, really, didn't you?
Well, I'm absolutely.
Have you done your tag toppers?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Oh no, I've got one more to do.
Yeah?
I'm just, sorry, this is what I mean. I can't talk and craft at the same time. I seriously don't know.
Now why we go quiet sometimes when we're demoing.
Do you know what the other thing I've realised as well, that you guys are very skilled at, is doing the whole, because I didn't know we had a camera up there, but doing that, how do you do the whole thing where you're doing it's really hard, isn't it?
There we go, look, it's coming on nicely.
Yeah.
It's looking fab.
I know.
So I know you've already got this bit done, Ben, because we've only got the 1 hole punch. So I'm just going to do the punching now. So all I've got is a single hole punch.
Yep.
If you haven't got a single one, you can use a double and just turn it on one side. If you've got a crocodile, it will work. I know we've all got something that makes a hole. So again, I'm just going to eyeball the centre again, little way down, and literally pop a hole in the top there for each one. So across all of them, inside there, all I'm doing is looking here to see that there's about the same on each side. I can see where mine's going to punch and then just take that little hole out of there, and I'm doing that on all 4 of them. And as I say, these are just a little bit of fun decoration and a means of hiding sort of your journaling. Sometimes you can put the journaling on the front of your page. I know a lot of people that I've spoken to say, I don't like my handwriting. I don't like writing where people can see it. So this is a great way of concealing it. The other option, if you really don't like your writing, is to actually print out on the computer what you want to say for journaling. Lots of different ways of doing it. One of the ones that I was thinking of was potentially putting one of the photos on a hinge, so you can lift it up like a book and have your journaling underneath. But I didn't want to take it too sort of in depth for the first one, so we're going to stick with the tags.
Okay.
And then I asked you to bring a little bit of twine along. If you've got the twine, you can actually pop this now into the top. So again, I'm just going to cut a length off. It's probably about 6 inches or so is probably enough. And the way I like to do it, and there's no right or wrong with this, I prefer to double it up. So I've halved it and doubled it up. And then I like to pop through here from the reverse of the tag to the front.
Oh, threaded. I'm not very good at that.
Okay, and this is where your pokey tool comes in handy as well, because you can actually push. Perhaps needed a little bit bigger hole in there, that's it. And then just bring the tails through there. And then just gently.
You just pulled that through the hole?
Yeah, tighten it up like so.
Oh, okay.
So we'll do that again. So I'm just going to cut another length. We're going to do all 4 of them like this. Or if you don't want to do it double, you can bring it through single. You know, there's nothing to stop you just bringing 1 layer through, single from back. I usually work from the back to the front, and then you can actually tie it at the top this way as well. So whichever you prefer. If I show you both ways, you can actually work whichever you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to do it that way and then just tie a knot at the top, it works just the same.
Okay.
But I just prefer the way that one looks. It's just a personal thing again. All right, but they both do the same thing, and then you can trim off, if they're a wee bit long, you can trim off the twine there. So I'm just going to do that on the other 2 so that we've got that as a little feature. Okay,
keep those comments coming in. I will read a few more of your comments in just a few moments' time. Any questions as well, then do get these in. I do know also that I've just heard the guys in the gallery saying that we've got some pictures too, which we will have a look at.
Well, once we've done this, it'd be a good time to have a little stop again,
break.
I think. And let everybody catch up, because then we're just ready for that final bit of assembly and then a little bit of decoration and we're done, believe it or not.
Let us know how much fun you're having in the comments, and I want to see your pictures as well. I am literally having the best time. Why have I not done this before? Why have I not? I mean, I am now, if I get a craft along, I'm going to insist that I do it.
Yeah?
That I do it. I'm loving this. I mean, obviously, great teacher.
It's very addictive.
Great teacher. Yeah, it is.
It is very addictive when you start getting into it.
As well, it's really, and you'll have noticed this because you've not heard from me basically over the course of the last hour, it's really quite Well, it's mindful, isn't it? It's quite
It is.
relaxing.
And that's why I know talking to people, Ben, that's how a lot of people have got into crafting. It's something that they've done maybe after recuperating from an illness or an operation or something like that. They've spent time at home.
Yeah.
Certainly at this moment in time where we are spending a lot of time at home, it's a great way, and time just flies by, I find, when I'm crafting. I'll go in my craft room, I'll think I've been in there half an hour, and my husband will come in 2 hours later and it's like, what's for tea, love?
Yeah.
Because I think I've just spent half an hour, and it's just like, same when we come here. I always think the time passes fast when we come here. So I've got my 4 tags at the ready there. We've pretty much got everything assembled now. I think maybe it's a good time just to take a check-in now, and then we'll come back and do that final bit of assembly at the end, yeah?
Absolutely brilliant. There's loads of lovely comments coming in. I think lots of people are just getting into this and crafting along. April on YouTube is saying, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for introducing more mixed media and scrapbooking into the shows. I think Jan is a wonderful teacher. She really is. I tell you what, if she can teach this guy to craft, she's got to be probably the best teacher. Diane Joe on Facebook says, Ben is an excellent student and Jan a great instructor. Ben is getting excited like Joe did with his flower forming. Hey, I'm hoping I can pop this up on the shelf. You know,
I think it will have earned a place on the shelf.
Hey,
yes.
Me and Jan together up on the shelf. Judy Beater says, I'm not a scrapbooker, but I love watching and learning tips to use in card making. Thank you for showing so many different techniques and tips. And this is, I mean, it's a tragic message really, but it's lovely in a way. Dawn says, I lost my dad and mother last year. Then lost my daughter, best friend, craft buddy last summer in a tragic accident. I was feeling so lonely until I found CCTV in January. New circle of crafty friends. Well, Dawn, I'm really sorry to hear about your loss, but
that's a shame.
But that is lovely that you found kind of, you know, friends and family here at Crafters TV, and you know, we're always here for you. Absolutely, we are. Diane K. Lewis on Facebook just saying, I like how Jan explains everything and she repeats things so everyone really understands. Thank you. And just very quickly, there's this limerick. So Bernie's watching. She says, hi everyone, I've just done a limerick for our fabulous Jan. I hope you like it. So here it comes. Yeah, Bernie, what are you doing writing limericks? You should be getting ready for Sunday. Softer Side of Life, your new show. You shouldn't be writing limericks. You should be getting ready for the big show. Sunday, midday, UK time.
Bernie. She's one of the nicest people I have ever met, bless her.
This is a limerick for you. There once was a crafter named Jan, who is a fabulous nan. If stamping's your thing, she'll take you under her wing as part of the CTV clan.
Absolutely fantastic. I love it. Will you send it me, Bernie? Send it me. I'm going to print that out. That is brilliant. I'm going to stick that up in my craft room.
It's just great.
Love it.
She sent us some pictures in, which we'll have a look at in just a second too. In fact, we can see them now. Here we go.
She's got a little doggy as well. I know she's got a doggy too.
Look at the cats.
Look at those.
Murphy, Shugs, and TJ. I love the fact that one's like, what's going on? The other one's like, shut up, I'm trying to sleep.
One's just having a sneaky peek. The other one's
Oh, there's a third one behind the ginger one. I didn't see.
Yeah, the one at the back's just having a little crafty peek.
Bertie, Shugs and TJ. That is brilliant.
And as she sent us a picture of Pippa, I know she's got a doggo as well.
Oh. Don't get us sending any more pictures. Bernie, get back to work for that show. A couple more comments. Lena on Facebook saying, you're right, Jan, never throw lovely paper away. In Denmark, we are doing a lot of cards with all the leftovers from paper pads. They make pretty backgrounds for stamped images or sentiments. Pauline saying, your page is looking good, Ben. I'm impressed. Thank you. And Kelly on Facebook says, I love how totally absorbed that Ben is. He's taking his craft along quite seriously and doing a fantastic job. I'm not doing a fantastic job of hosting today. I've got to tell you, I'm doing a pretty good job with this. But yeah, what a day. We've made balloons on the show. I've had a balloon fight with Craig. Now I'm scrapbooking.
Who knows what 7 o'clock's going to bring?
Who knows? I mean, 7 o'clock will be full on like cabaret show with singing and dancing. Dear. Oh dear, we are having the best time. Let's go back to Tennessee and see how Mary's getting on. Mary, are you having a great time too?
Always a great time with you guys.
Oh, I love that so much. Have you got pets out of interest? I don't think I asked you that at the start.
We have 2 dogs.
What sort of dogs have you got?
It's a mixed terrier and a Pomeranian.
Oh, wow.
Gorgeous,
Pomeranians, are they the little ones? Little balls of fluff?
The little ones.
Yeah. What are they called?
Levi and Chelsea.
Levi and Chelsea.
Aww.
So you've got your eyes on the Pawsitivity collection, maybe next to start doing some scrapbooking for the dogs, yeah?
Yeah, maybe.
How are you getting along with your page though? We've had a little pause. It'd be interesting to see what you've been doing in Tennessee.
This is what I made.
Oh, you're there! You've zoomed ahead!
That
What do you think of that, Jan?
Super. She's got all the little tags in the pocket, look. She used the flower, the embellishments on the corner there. And then the photos. I love the fact that you've been able to transform what we're doing, Mary, into your own collection. That is superb. I love it. Yeah?
You're a great teacher, Jan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who's in the pictures there, Mary?
It's my mom and my daughter.
Yeah. Fantastic.
That is lovely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is absolutely right. I love the fact that you've whizzed ahead. It was probably me slowing you down, if anything, wasn't it?
You're doing okay, Ben. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, Mary. We've all got to start somewhere, haven't we?
Exactly.
But listen, we'll come back to you again in just a little while, and we'll wrap this up. I'll try and get along a little bit faster. I love the fact that Mary's finished. She's like, "Oh, Ben, come on, what are you doing? Seriously." But no, I love that. This is what it's all about. Craft along with us. Have a laugh. Have some fun. Send your pictures in as well. We want to see some more pictures of what you have been doing over the course of the last couple of hours, or indeed if you've already got one of the Nitwit collections, then send in the pictures of what you've been making. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Are we into the final furlong?
We are, yes. We're just literally going to put it all together now.
Okay.
We've got a couple of embellishments we need out of the topper pad. And I just realised, actually, I got carried away with my twine. I did ask you to actually bring a little button in. And on the one that I used in my original page, I'd got a button on the top of here. So if you want to use that on your tag that we're going to write on, you can. If you want to leave the twine in it, either way, it works both ways. So if you want to pop this one on, just a little bit, I've got a little bit of red line tape on the back, and then literally pop that over the hole there, just as a feature. But as I say, the twine works just the same. So last bits out of the topper pad then, we just need a few embellishments.
Yep.
So I'm literally going to have a look through, and we need one of the hearts. So we're going to just pop one of these hearts out. And again, it doesn't matter. I chose the one that had the paw prints on here to match the theme. So we want one of those. I'm going to take out a couple of little bits of just what I call embellishments. So we want, after the letters, we've got a page that's got some elements on here. So I'm going to take out one that says true friend, because I think they are. Our pets are definitely true friends.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I'm going to take out one of the, they're almost like a little scrap of paper that they've emulated.
Yeah, I've got one of those.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And we're just going to use that as an
edge.
embellishment, all right? So we just need those 3 pieces.
Yeah.
Just as extra. But again, you know, whatever you want to embellish with, there's loads of stuff in that pad. So what we can do now then is we're going to lay out our 2 photo mats and make sure we've got space there. And we're going to stick these down, but I wanted to just slot this piece under the edge here.
Right.
So I'm going to fasten that to my photo mat before I stick it down. So all I'm going to do is a little tiny bit of glue down one edge rather than down the centre. So I've kept to one side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you see where it's on there and it's
Yes.
just catching the light there? Yeah. So literally I'm just going to pop that under the edge just as a little bit of extra decoration there before we stick it down. And then we can stick these photo mats down. So
right,
I'm going to pop the back one. So the top one, I'm going to glue all the way round. So again, tape runner, all 4 sides, bit in the centre. And I'm going to use this one as a guide at the bottom here where I want it. But this one's going to go at the back. So I don't want them to overlap so much that they cover the photo up. But I think I'm sort of going to go. Then pull this one out of the way and stick that one down flat. Okay.
Yeah.
Now again, something I prefer not to do is stick over the top of the photo.
Right.
So on this one, again here, this is actually loose here. Yep. It could be that you add a bit more detail in there, but I just don't like sticking to my photos. And again, once they're in the protective pockets, it doesn't matter that it's not stuck down flat. It's not a, it's not a definite. If you're okay with sticking it down, you can. So because of that, I'm just going to stick sort of this part here. and I'm going to leave this top corner so that I'm not adhering it to that part. So I'm going to come down that side, I'm going to come across the bottom, and I'm going to come about halfway up that embellishment that we popped on. So this corner here, where it's going to overlap, isn't actually sticky. And again, pop that one in position ready. So here, I've just got that bit loose there, and that's just my preference. As I say, some people might be quite happy sticking them down. It does mean as well that if you don't tack your photos down totally, you can swap your photos out if you wish as well.
Yes.
All right, and then this one is just going to be, so if you imagine I've got my photos in here now, I put these in just as a positioner.
Yeah.
This is going to be my photos on here. So again, I don't want to stick this one over my photo. So just on the edge there, little bit of glue on that outside edge, and I'm just going to bring this on here.
Okay.
So again, this edge is loose, so that you can slot underneath it if you wish. Yeah.
I'm having to just, slightly change mine just for where my photos are, but...
That's okay. There's no hard and fast rule with it.
I'm loving this. I'm loving this, Dan.
The little heart is just going to be an embellishment at the bottom here. Look, fantastic.
Hey.
Yeah.
And I even, because this picture's not quite the right size, because obviously only found out about this 20 minutes before, the matte and layer wasn't great, so I've covered it. I've covered that terrible matte and layer up with the top photo. You see.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah. So this one again, I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to put glue under the piece that's actually sticking onto the layout.
What's that,
so
the
just
heart?
on that, the little heart,
Yep.
yeah. Just on that right-hand side. So again, it'll stick over the edge here, but not to my photo. So again, it's just loose on that side there. Okay, so we're on to the final bit now.
Yeah.
And that's just to finish off this bottom corner. So it should be dry enough to work with now, our little decoupage piece that we made.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and this is why I asked you to grab some fine red line tape. All right, and all I'm going to do, again, I don't want to stick this down in total, because when we've got it on here, I need room to put my tags behind. So down the outside of your piece, where the large dog sat with his little tail, I want you to run a line of tape down that outside piece there.
Do that again. Which bit?
All right, so down the large dog.
Yes.
Down the outside, down his back where his tail is.
Yeah.
I've literally got a piece of red line tape there.
Okay. Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah, can you see there?
Yep.
And then I'm also going to put a piece across the bottom where the little one that's laid down is. All right, so just a piece across that bottom edge there. So again, so that's down that outside, down the back of that larger dog,
yeah,
and across the bottom where the little one's laid sleeping.
Okay.
So that's all I want to adhere down so that we can get those tags in. And then take off your, oops, it's not quite dry mine yet, just be careful it doesn't move. Take your red line off there, and then we're going to position him. Oops, that bit doesn't want to stick down. I think this is because I've got a little bit of... is yours sticking all right, Ben?
I can't get the tape off the back.
I think it's just where we had that silicone glue.
Hey, at least we both having the same problem.
I think that's where...
oh, it's not easy this, is it?
That's
I've
it,
just moved the doggy as well now. Ah.
If you're struggling with it, use a little bit of the wet glue, Ben.
Yeah, I might do.
All right, so because we've just got that sort of in that L shape now, it's going to fit nicely in that bottom corner there. And I'm going to press him down that outside where we've put the tape. Just be gentle with that one that's not quite dry yet. But what it means is that we can still slot things behind this side here, look. Can you see
yes.
there? Yep. And then literally all I'm going to do is pop the tags in. If you want to pop a date on when you made the page, you can.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pop the big one in the back there. So it'll go in the bottom, slide behind the little doggy's ears there.
This is brilliant. I've done brilliant, I've got to tell you. Let me blow my
I think it's
trumpet.
perfect.
I'm
so that's
this.
that one. Then I'm going to pop the
quite
patterned
dry.
one over the top. I'm going to pop the brown one in as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this one was meant for your journaling, which you can do at your leisure now. So all I've done, I just wrote my fur babies, my handsome boy Benji just after being groomed, and my gorgeous girl Lacey modelling her new pink harness. That's all I popped on it. And then I wrote the date. You could put the date on this one. I put one of the dates, and then that one just slides, so it hides the journaling. It's a little bit of surprise when you bring that one out of the pocket. And that is pretty much our scrapbook page complete. If I bring my original one in there, you can see it with its photos in there. So, are we there? Look at your smile, look at that smile. I love it.
My hair's standing up, I'm so happy. Look at that.
Well done, Mr. Mosby. I am very impressed. That looks fantastic. And if you've got to the end with us at home, send us some pictures in of what you've done. Yeah, we'd love to see them. Oh, absolutely. Fantastic.
Literally the best time. Loads of lovely comments still coming in. Just a comment about, so Stacey's asked, is the Collal all-purpose acid-free?
Yes.
It is. That's good news.
Yeah.
Another question here. Lakiet says, I saw Ben has a sewing machine. Does this mean Ben will also do a sew-along with Bernie? If I'm being honest with you, the only thing that I've sewn so far, Lakiet, is I fixed my cricket pants, as you would call them, my cricket trousers that had a hole in them. I haven't done anything crafty yet, so I don't know. It's one thing making a scrapbook page. I think, what?
I'm in on Sunday. I'll come and craft along with Bernie.
Are you gonna?
I might do. If she wants me to, I'll come in on softer side. Yeah? Do you want me to come in early on Sunday?
And do some sewing with Bernie?
I'll do something with Bernie on Sunday. How about that? I'll come in a bit early for you.
Do you already sew though, Jen? That is the question.
I have in the past. I haven't done for a very long time, but I do know the basics of a sewing machine. So yes.
Okay.
Yes, hidden talent.
Wow. This is great. I love the fact that we're all kind of, you know...
Be nice, Bernie.
Jumping out of our comfort zones. Bernie would be like, right, got a really technical demo we're going to do with Jan.
If it interferes with the show, it's not a problem. But if she wants me to, I'm up for it. I'll have a go.
Patty just saying, love how Jan breaks everything down into steps. So refreshing. Listen, we've taken an hour and a half on this, and this is great. Sarah on Facebook saying, I love how excited Ben is. I remember that feeling when I discovered crafting. It has been the best hour and a half. We'll go back to Tennessee and join Mary, who has been with us over the course of the last hour and a half or so. I know you finished your page a little bit earlier, Mary, but just show us the page again for those viewers who have just joined us. Take us through your scrapbook page and how you put it together.
Okay. I just followed Jan's, you know, how she tore that paper up there. And then I layered it down and matted my photos and just, I mean, this collection is just so easy to use because you just put a stick on and stick it on the paper.
Well, that's it, isn't it? And you get so much, because you've got the Bloom and Grace collection, but it's the same, isn't it? It's the point that you get all of the papers and you've got the little, the die cut pieces, haven't you?
Yes. The numbers are all die cut there. And so it's this embellishment here.
Yeah. It's absolutely brilliant. And again, just for people who have joined now, so is scrapbooking one of the sort of biggest joys that you have in crafting?
Yes, scrapbooking and card making.
Yeah. And what do you do with your finished pages again? Because that was an interesting question earlier on that somebody asked. Have you got do you have albums, or what do you do once you've done a page?
I have albums, and I also put it in a frame, a scrapbook frame.
Yeah. And what kind of things do you find that you scrapbook? Is it special days, memories, or what kind of things?
Special days, birthdays, you know, weddings.
Yeah.
Mostly those special events.
Yeah, it must be amazing then to look back over the years and you know, see how family members have changed and things like that.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. Well, listen, Mary, thank you so much. Have you enjoyed the craft along? That's the question. And the other thing to say is, what would you say to other people who are perhaps thinking, oh, I do sort of want to give it a go, but I'm a little bit nervous?
Oh, the craft along is great. I mean, you know, I like the pace. It's very easy to follow. Jan's a great teacher, and glad that you crafted along with us, Ben. That was awesome.
Thank you. It's because you are Mary. I knew, you know, I had to do something a little bit special. So yeah, I'm glad that I did. But you definitely tell people to give it a go, would you?
Definitely. I mean, it's going to be a little bit, you'll feel anxious at the first time, but I mean, you guys pretty much make us comfortable.
Yeah.
Along the way. So.
And just a shout out to our guys who work hard behind the scenes, because I know obviously you've spoken to Johnny and Charlotte. They make life easy for you, do they?
Yes, they did. They did. They always do. They're awesome.
Just wanted to check to make sure, Well, Mary, it's been an absolute delight to have you on the show. Loved your scrapbook page too, and hopefully we'll see you back on a craft along or a craft house or something like that very soon.
Something like that. Okay.
Thanks a lot, Mary.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you are welcome. It's been brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. I love that. Mary there in Tennessee, crafting along. What a brilliant, brilliant show this has been. And we have not finished, because you may well have joined and you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, I want to craft along with this show. You'll have the ability to, of course, because you'll be able to re-watch this show back. I'm going to give you the details on the Pawsitivty collection in just a few moments' time. But before all of that, let's just all marvel at all of the work that we've done over the last hour and a half and have a look at this little video. It's a masterpiece.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the Crafty makes. We'll send you a completely free quarterly Digimag direct into your inbox, giving you lots of hints, tips, inspiration, additional offers and some sneaky behind the scenes gossip from the team. So what are you waiting for? Become a member of our club today.
I'm absolutely buzzing with this craft along. Mary, absolutely brilliant. Jan, brilliant. The collection's fantastic. Just need to tell you a little bit about our US shipping situation. I know lots of you will know all about this already, but as a bit of a temporary measure, this is due to the continued pressure on domestic shipments around the US. We've had to increase our standard delivery from $9.99 to $12.95. So standard delivery, 5 to 10 business days. And the free shipping threshold, we've had to make that bigger as well. So normally $100 US, up to $125 US. However, good news for our US customers in that we have introduced our new express service. This is fully tracked door to door. It says 3 to 7 days, but we're saying sort of 3 to 6 business days potentially. So basically, you're going to get all of your crafty goodies sooner, and that is $19.95. So a great way to be able to get your hands on your goodies a little bit sooner. The good news as well for Platinum and Gold customers is that we'll automatically receive a free upgrade to that express service at no additional cost. So, game on for our Gold and Platinum customers. And as I say, the fact that we just had to make those little increases, it's a temporary sort of measure. And we thank you for your patience and your understanding with everything which is going on currently as far as that is concerned. We've literally only got about 20 minutes remaining. So what I thought we would do is talk about the two collections that we've got on the show, but also mention National Craft Month, because that's this month. I didn't know if you know, but you do now. 2nd of March today, of course, so the second day of National Craft Month. And what we're doing each and every day throughout this month, we are giving away a prize to celebrate, because of course, you know, here at Crafters TV, if we can't celebrate National Craft Month, what can we celebrate? So basically all you have to do is on the shows each and every day is leave us a comment, leave us a question, as you normally do on Facebook and YouTube. And then in the 7 o'clock show, we will randomly pick a winner. Now, I'm not going to show you what's in the bag today, but I think you will be very excited about what is in here. Let's just say, once again, the prize that we're giving away. If you watched yesterday, by the way, you will have seen that it's not just like a die or a stamp. We have loads to give away. In here today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 7 items in here. 1, 2, 3. Well, there's 3 paper pads. There's some dies in here. There's an embossing folder. I'm not telling you what it is, but I can't believe that we're giving this away for free. So leave us a comment, leave us a question. Do it before, I would say, about 8 o'clock tonight, and you'll be in that draw. Somebody's going to win the contents of this bag later on this evening, and it is a brilliant prize, let me just tell you. Right. Let's just have a quick look at the collections that we've got on the show. So proud of that scrapbook page. Because we've been working with the Pawsitivty collection. The previous collection to that from Nitwit was the Bloom and Grace collection. That's the one that Mary was working with, and it's stunning. I'm a big fan. I've got to be honest with you, up until a few weeks ago, Nitwit was not a brand that I knew about, but now I know about this brand, and I love what they bring to the table, because they basically, with their collections, you get a little bit of everything, don't you? And that's why I absolutely love. So with the Bloom and Grace collection, you've got this gorgeous stamp and die set. Same with like the Pawsitivty, you get the gorgeous stamps and then the dies to be able to cut out those stamps as well. So again here, if you're wanting to do a bit of decoupage, you can layer up all of the pieces that you've got within the collection. You've then got your stamp set. Once again, lots of different sentiments on there, things like find beauty in every day. You have got things like your kindness makes such a difference, happy anniversary. There's loads in there, sending you sunshine, laughter and hugs. Kind of lots of sentiments again that are absolutely brilliant for this current time that we're in. And we're saying to you guys, do you know what, make cards just because, send cards out just because, you know, there might be someone who's going through a bit of a tough time. Card through the post, I mean, just brilliant, isn't it? Don't tend to get a lot of nice posts these days, do we? It's normally bills or junk mail. Imagine if you can just put a smile on somebody's face by just sending them a card just because, not because it's their birthday or it's an anniversary, just because you want to send them a card and cheer them up. Also in this collection, you have got your die cut decoupage topper pad. Once again, super simple. As we showed you with the Pawsitivty collection, you've got, I think, 48 sheets within these once again. So the 4 different elements of your decoupage, simply you can pop them out of the sheet and then away you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, it's all labelled up, could not be simpler. And of course, that's the sort of minimum sort of depth that you're going to get. But then of course, if you want to add more on, snip into them a little bit more, you've got a lot more room to be able to do that. And then you've got all your paper pads. And once again, this is phenomenal. Really classy is this. This is your 12 by 12 pattern paper pad. And again, is it 36 sheets, Johnny, I want to say? It is, yeah, 36 sheets of these gorgeous colours. You've got beautiful florals in there. You're getting 12 designs, 3 of each within this collection. And as you will see, double-sided, so you've got, again, as per the Pawsitivty, the gorgeous kind of florals on one side and then your more sort of block colours on the reverse. But what I love about this, once again, is that all of your gorgeous pattern papers work absolutely perfectly with your card pad, as you can see here. Once again, 36 sheets within there, matching up absolutely beautifully. And then, this is where I love these collections, you're going to get your die cut topper pad once again. And this one is all about gorgeous butterflies. You've got some amazing sentiment tags in there too. But have a look through. All of these are just going to simply pop out. Look at those swans. Are you kidding me? These are phenomenal. The floral detailing in the swans. You've got more tags in there, more embellishments, sort of little mini postcards, even more tags. And as we get through to the back here, there again, you've got your little borders as per the Pawsitivty collection. There is just so much craftability with these. And again, look at your alphabet. How gorgeous is that? With elements of the flowers running through, and then even more there. You've got smaller alphabet with the little buttons for embellishment. It is quite simply gorgeous. Want some numbers? You got those in there as well. For personalisation, it's fantastic. And as I say, what I love It's almost like a crafting journey that you've got here, because if you're looking for a collection where you're thinking, well, I'm just starting out, you've got all of the pieces here that you can get crafting with, and then when you want to move on to your kind of stamping and your die cutting as well, you've got all those elements included too. It's a lovely collection. Mary vouched for that with her gorgeous scrapbook page that she made just a few moments ago. $58.05 or $67.69 if you want to go for the Bloom with Grace complete collection, saving $24.99 or $29.01 today. I was just looking at that thinking, that's a low price. Producer Johnny just says, best price ever. So grab that one if you've been waiting for it. Today is your day to grab that deal. Right, we are going to go. I cannot believe the time. I've literally had the best time. 15 minutes left on the show. A bit of speed crafting for Jan. We've taken our time over that first demo, which is what the whole point of the craft along is all about. You now got 15 minutes to fit in 5 demos. 5 demos. Right, I'm going to roll them all into one demo. I'll call you on that one, but I've got some of it already prepped. Right, so we're going to make a part. I've got the rest of it done already because it's a lot of repetition again. But this is just one part of 5. So 5 3/4 square. And this is actually Nina cardstock, which normally I wouldn't use for a... It is strong enough for a card base, but I'll explain why I've used Nina when you see the rest of it. So what I've done is folded it in half. I've had a little bit of ribbon on the front here, and then I've made some mats and layers from that plain card pack, pattern paper, absolutely beautiful. So we're going to pop this one on the front, and then I've mainly just used elements from that topper pad again, because I wanted to show these off at their best. So what I've done is I've created lots of different sort of elements with the toppers just to make some detail. So that one's going to go on as a background, and then I've taken one of the little pop-outs and matted it again on a scrap of cardstock. So I want to keep all this reasonably flat, and all will become clear when I put it together as to why I want to keep it flat. Yeah. So this one's going to go on the corner, but just before I do that, I've taken one of the border strips and just again matted it on a piece of plain card. So I'm going to put that in the background. Sometimes I do this with ribbon, but I want my ribbon as a closure for this project. So here we go. This one's going to go perhaps a little bit further down there, not quite halfway. And that's going to stick on there. And then this one's going to go to the bottom here. And then I've got, this was actually in the middle of here, in the topper pad. So I'm just going to bring this out probably to one side there. And I'm just using my tape pen to pop all this together. So again, we'll pop this down to one side, and then I've got one of the butterflies again that's just been popped out of that topper pad. We'll pop this one on the top. And then on the inside, so that's just offsetting this one here, and I've got my piece of ribbon ready for the closure. On the inside, I've cut 2 pieces now. I've cut one piece in plain cardstock, and one piece in pattern paper, and they're slightly varying lengths. And what I've done is I've just got adhesive on the edge. So this first one I'm going to line up on the inside here, leaving just that 1/4 inch again that we were talking about as a border, and I only want to stick that one edge where I've got the tape. And then I'm going to take the next one, which is my patterned piece, and I've done the same again. All right, so when we take this one off here, again, I'm going to line up with that 1/4 inch border all the way around. And then once I'm happy, commit to sticking that down. And then you might say, well, it's too short, Jan. Yeah, it's a bit short, Jan.
It is a bit short there. I've got my cutting mixed up, haven't I? So again, we're going to take this edge off here. And what I want to do now is bring this up to that 1/4 inch border. So again, I'm just going to slide it until I'm happy with that space around it, and then commit to sticking. And you can see now that we're creating like a bit of a shape in the back. And we're going to do the same with this one. So this is just cut a little bit shorter. All right, and I'm going to slide this one up again until we've got that 1/4 inch border. And you can see there where we've created that sort of See the shape in the top?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So this is, I said, 5 demos in one, you said, Ben.
I know, you
All
have,
right.
that's
And I have
so
actually
me.
got 4 more that I prepared earlier that we're going to stick this one to.
Okay.
Okay, so just to finish decorating the inside here, I've taken some pieces from that topper pad again. So I'm just going to pop these on the inside, and I've done this on a lot of the other pages ready because I didn't know how much time we'd have after the craft along. So we're going to pop that one there, and then I've got one of those little, they're like a dictionary definition. They're gorgeous. This one says gentleness, the quality of being kind, tender or mild-mannered.
Ah.
They're lovely. There's 2 or 3 different ones, and that's going to go just to offset it.
Brilliant.
So we've gone bottom corner, top corner to offset. And then I've actually got this one at the ready, and we're going to pop that tape off here, and then I want to use some of my wet glue now because I want a really good lasting stick. And whereas the tape runner is absolutely fine, I just find that with the wet glue it seeps into your cardstock.
Yes.
And you get that real longevity out of it, because this one is a bit of a sort of a mantelpiece pleaser again. And this is the reason I said I'd come back to the Nina, because I've got so many layers, I didn't want it to be too heavy, and that's why I've used Nina cardstock. So for this one, I'm going to hold it up to me with the glue facing me. I'm going to line this one up at the bottom here, and literally just, once they're lined up, pop them together at the top there. So making sure that that piece goes right along the edge there, and then we can give it a really good press down, and you've got your ribbon to close it there. So as a gift, you can actually tie this together. I'd make a beautiful box using that same collection.
Oh, yes.
And you've got your gift there.
That's phenomenal.
All right, and this is a great one for scrapbooking.
Yeah.
With. So inside each page here, you could actually scrapbook, but when we open it and display it, we'll just pop that ribbon out of there. When I open it up, you've got several pages, all the same layout, but imagine these being a photo mat for your scrapbook. Yep. Okay, and then when you actually display it, are we ready?
There we go. Oh, come on.
You've got your star book, all right? So you would just fasten your ribbon together here, all right? And you've got that just showing off. I just thought that was a lovely way to show that collection off with all those different topper elements. And again, it's just cardstock and sticking toppers on.
Now, hang on a cotton picking minute here, because I...
Done the back again. Yep.
Because
I'm in it to win it, Ben.
Here's the thing though, Jan, is that so after the whole Joe Gate situation a couple of weeks back, I now feel I qualified to put my scrapbook page up there.
Yes.
But you've just smashed my scrapbook page out of the park with that demonstration. That's phenomenal. I've not seen anything like that before.
Tell you, it's making us raise our game, this.
Oh, honestly,
not that we're competitive in any way. Not at all. Look at that.
I tell you what we'll do. I know normally we have a vote, but I'm aware that we're sort of running out of time here. So that Starbook, if everyone agrees, has got to go on the the crafty walk of fame. Sorry, I've just looked across here because you've got Craig's scrapbook that he made from the Caring Thoughts collection back on Monday. Then Sarah's scrapbook from the Twist and Pop dies. Then we're going to have my scrapbook page. We've got a dog balloon. Which is Craig's from earlier, and we've got Jan's as well. That is brilliant. But doesn't it show you though how these collections can be incorporated into so many different crafts?
I know I went through it pretty quick as a demo, and if anybody wants the measurements, just give me a nudge on social media, and I'll let you know it's this bit particularly inside that you have to get to make that star shape. But it is literally, once you've done one, the other 4 are all exactly the same. So the only difference is that you would decorate the front of the first one here, and you would decorate the back of the last one. Yeah. And then the rest of them are just all stuck together. And that's why I say why I've used my Nina card, because the 2 layers together are strong enough to actually support what I wanted to do with this. I did something like this as a class back at Chesterfield, probably 2 or 3 years ago, and honestly it went down a treat. We did it with creator card dies where we actually brought them out of the middle. So we'd got those in between all the folds in the Starbook, and they loved it. But I think, again, just along that scrapbooking line, if you wanted to do this as a gift, you know, maybe sort of with photos of the grandchildren or something like that, each one of these here, you could put photo mats in and just have it as a little photo book, and then literally have all those photos displayed somewhere where you could leave it out open. Makes a gorgeous gift.
There are lots of comments coming in about that last demo. And actually, did you say you'll post more on your Facebook page?
Yes, I will. Those measurements, just to enable to get that star, we had to cut them slightly shorter. So the original cards are 5 3/4 square. They're all the same. You make 5 of them. You can do 6 as well, but I just wanted the 5 for this one, for that 5 points. But what I will do is give you the measurements for those 2 inside pieces. So give me a chance to get home at 11 o'clock tonight, and I'll do it tomorrow onto my social media, yes?
No
Did
rush.
I say that out loud then?
Yeah, you will find it all there. Absolutely no rush. Thank you for all the lovely comments coming in as well. Reference my little scrapbook page, so thank you for those. Yeah, very, very happy with that. I will leave it up for your votes on Sunday, but then I'll be taking it home after that, because I might put that in a little frame. Very proud of it.
I think you did a great job. I'm really pleased that you crafted along with us, Ben.
Yeah, I'm pleased that I did it now as well. When there was a knock on the green room door, as I say, half an hour before, going, "You're going to craft?" I was like, "Ah!" But I'm so pleased that I did. Thank you for the lovely comments, and thank you for the pictures that you sent in as well. Patty has made a card. This is great. No. For a great nephew Elijah's birthday. So that's the embossing folder there, isn't it? And just elements of the decoupage pad again. Absolutely love that. Brilliant, Patty. Thank you. This is such a smiley collection, isn't it? Look at that.
The doggies and the cats on that one. That looks great.
Yeah. That's like my family, with a dog and a cat, and the cat ruling the roost over the dog, which makes me laugh. Tarita crafted along. What do you think of this one, Jan?
I can see those layers. Look at the top and bottom, but again, utilising what you've got. I like the different layout with the title across the middle. Absolutely fabulous, Teresa. Well done.
And again, Angela's taken some tips here as well.
Brilliant. Again, use a different collection there, same layout, but this is what I love. This is what I wanted, people to be able to do what we were doing, but with their own collections, you know, just convert it into something you've got. It was basically the layout I was showing you, but look how well that transfers to a different collection.
It's fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant.
I love these. This is making me smile. Wendy and Lulu.
Look at those, Lulu. That's gorgeous. That's brilliant. Look at the little doggo there.
I know.
Yep.
Wendy just saying Jan is a fantastic teacher. That must make you happy as well, Jan. The fact that
I do enjoy the teaching side of it. I must admit, I used to do a lot of classes when I worked at Chesterfield store, and I do miss the teaching aspect to it. So being able to come and do this with you guys today has been brilliant. And I can see our Pippa coming up.
So this is Bernie. So she's 3 cats and the dog Pippa.
Yep, she's beautiful. Look
Is she a Labrador?
at her. She is a lab, yeah. She's gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
She's only a baby as well, I think. I don't know if I remember rightly. She's not very old either.
Oh, brilliant. Bernie, thank you so much for sending in that picture. And thank you for all of the pictures that you guys have sent in as well. It makes me really happy. I feel I've got like a warm, fuzzy feeling in my tummy after today. I've loved all of the fun that you guys have had with us. I love the fact that so many of you have crafted along as well. What a brilliant show. Right, in the last few moments, let us just give you the details of the deals that we've got. If you want to go for the Pawsitivity, details coming up on your screen here. This is brilliant. And now, how great is this, right? You're getting a saving of $43.92 on 1960 off the deal that it should be. And now, on top of that amazing deal, you've got an hour-and-a-half craft along with our Jan, free of charge, adding on to that. Do you know what I mean? That's what I love about it here, is that you're buying this, and you're not going to get it home and go, oh no, I can't remember what I'm supposed to do. I haven't got any ideas. You've now got an hour-and-a-half with Jan to watch in your own time, to craft along with that set. And of course, it's brilliant because if you love dogs and cats particularly, you're going to love it. You've got your paper pads in there, you've got your cardstock in there, you've got the die cut topper pads in there, you've got your decoupage pads, of course, you've got your die and stamp sets, that embossing folder. Oh, there is so much. It's a 31 elements with the topper card and paper pads as well for $79.99 or $124.95. 20% off that, of course, if you're platinum as well. $67.85 or $105.96. It's one of my favourite collections. I know you probably keep saying to me, oh, well, he's changing his mind. He's saying every collection's his favourite. This is in my top 3 of the year so far. You've also got the Bloom with Grace Complete Collection. So this was the collection before, but this is the one that Mary crafted with. And again, plenty in there as far as the fact you've got your pattern papers, you've got your block colour card, you've got your decoupage pad, you've got your 12 by 12 topper pad, that got topper pad in there, and you've got your stamp and die set with that beautiful flower, and then more stamp sentiments too. $58.05 or $67.69 is the deal on that, and that is the best price ever. Just to mention, we're supposed to be doing a launch party in 2 hours' time, so 5 o'clock UK, which is midday, isn't it, Eastern time. Now, we were supposed to be bringing you the Year of Craft, the Friends and Family collection. However, we showed it this morning on the wake-up call with Craig, and it's gone. I don't think this has ever happened to me before, because normally it's like, oh, we could shuffle a bit of stock round from somewhere else, but it's sold out. Jan was all prepared with demos, and the twist and pop as well. I think we were supposed to be featuring that, but that's gone. So we are going to have to go and have a bit of a put our heads together and find out what we've got.
Might be writing some more limericks at 7 o'clock, Ben.
We have got craft kits to bring to you, though. We've got discovery kits to bring to you as well, and we've got a preview for a new launch which is coming up. So yeah, you can buy that before we launch it, and then when the launch show comes, we'll have nothing to sell. Seriously, our crafters love what we've got to offer, don't they, Jan?
They surely do, yes. I must admit, I know when they're like, oh, Jan. So everything I brought with me for the next show is just like up in the air. So yeah, we're just going to chill for a couple of hours and put a plan together, and honestly, all will be good. I have all faith in our team.
Well, a bit of crafty improvisation at this end. Jan, thank you for one of the most amazing shows. I've really enjoyed it.
I loved it.
And Jan has been brilliant. So many lovely comments coming in. Thank you to Jan. Also, a big thank you to Mary, who joined us from Tennessee, crafting along in her craft room there. It has been such a great show. Hopefully, as I've said, you've managed to craft along with us. Thank you to everyone who sent in a picture too of what you managed to make over the course of the last couple of hours. But remember, if you haven't yet got these collections, whether it's the Bloom with Grace or the Pawsitivity, snap these deals up, and then when you've got your goodies back, you've then got that craft along to use at your leisure. Right, we are off for a couple of hours, but we'll be back, not quite sure with what, in a couple of hours here at Crafters TV. See you in just a bit.